So if you maybe view the series that I mentioned that you should watch here in the description box, you'll understand what I'm about to say now. Ephraim in modern times is representative of the English peoples. But it's not the English peoples by race, once again. It's the English peoples that have been united by this particular ideology. We're talking about English Freemasonry. Templar Knight English Freemasonry. And these Knights of Templar are going to be the hidden link that connects us between ancient Israel, their occult mystery worship of these ancient Sumerian gods, that is now going to come into the philosophies and the agenda of modern day Freemasonry, all connected by these Knights of Templar and what they happened to find underneath the Temple of Solomon, as the legend would state. This is where the agenda of ancient Israel, after it's been dispersed, becomes re-fulfilled within these new ideological Jews that are not Jews by race, but are now Jews by faith. But they're Jews by faith of these ancient occultic practices, this Jewish mysticism. And then you can see that today as it's practiced and recognized by their use of the Kabbalah, which is the Jewish mysticism handbook, which is all connected to the mystic unicorn, which is the symbolism for this Jewish mysticism as it's related to the northern tribe of Israel symbol. So, once the Temple of Solomon, basically, after the tribes have been dispersed in history, we don't hear much more about them. They're considered the lost 10 tribes. They've been scattered around the globe. I told you that they spring up now as the nations of the world. Well, in this ancient time, we find out that the artifacts, the Ark of the Covenant, the Urim and the Thummim, which are going to be those seer stones, basically divination. They were supposed to be in the breastplate of Jacob, which was supposed to be this vesture of which was encrusted with these jewels and stones, which could allow the priest of ancient Israel to divine and tell the future, in which the Bible itself looks down upon. All of these and many more ancient artifacts, even ancient machines, Israel itself, occult pagan Israel, possessed. And they were given to Israel by the fallen ones. Well, we find out that Israel, by the Bible's own words, eventually puts away its occult practices. And along with its occult practices, it puts away the artifacts of those ancient days, and it hides them all under the Temple of Solomon. Now enter, later in history, the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar are given temporary lodging over top of some of these ruins in the area of the Temple of Solomon, of which this is how they become known as the Knights Templar, because they had taken up their lodging at this location. Well, at this time, they used this to actually start performing some of the first archaeological digs, if you would, and they were looking for something. They were looking for these legendary artifacts, because the legend said anyone that possessed these ancient artifacts of Israel would rule and control the world, and that's what they saw. Well, the story goes that they did find them. Now, you have to remember, these things that were buried under the Temple of Solomon are directly related to what Solomon was doing himself. He was controlling these spiritual energies, and he was controlling these spiritual energies with this symbol right here, the tetrahedron. I'll be back.